by the new Waterford location and enter to win a free whole house water treatment system. At Beauchamp, providing clean, safe drinking water is hardwired into our DNA. In fact, our loyalty to our customers runs so deep that we have offered low-cost salt options throughout our existence. It's never been about price, but building trusted partnerships with our customers by offering high-quality equipment and exemplary service. Beauchamp has more than 100 years of combined water treatment expertise and will eliminate your hard, smelly, and rusty water issues, as well as test your water for free. Learn more at BeauchampWater.com or call 248-642-2000. Trust the leader in water treatment solutions. Beauchamp will have you loving your water.
Hi, Samantha here with Henderson Glass, your Michigan glass expert since 1915. Did you know that our qualified professionals can help determine if your windshield can be repaired or should be replaced in order to get you back on the road quickly and safely? As a general rule, if the chip in your windshield is bigger than a quarter, the windshield should be replaced. Many insurance companies will waive the deductible on your comprehensive coverage for a windshield repair. Call us at 1-800-ASK-GLASS to ask if you qualify, or visit hendersonglass.com.
Attention all CDL truck drivers.
CMAC Transportation is hiring company drivers and mechanics, and their sister company Superior Global Logistics is hiring owner-operators right now. CMAC Transportation and Superior Global are fast-growing, Michigan-made, veteran-owned companies that offer competitive pay and top benefits, dedicated freight, and lots regular home time. Call CMAC Transportation and Superior Global today, 734-225-9887. That's 734-225-9887, or on the web at cmactrans.com.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
I'm Adam Helfman with Hire It Done. Here with some quick tips that you can use next time you're looking for a contractor. These tips are so crucial, I don't want anyone to hire a contractor before hearing this. Number one. We've been programmed to always get at least 3 bids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want to give you permission to say yes when you find the contractor you want. Remember, it might be a few weeks or more before a good contractor is available to start working, and the sooner you decide, the sooner the project starts moving forward. Number two. Ask the contractor to write down everything that's included. This forces the contractor to think what else is part of the project and what could potentially come up. Additionally, ask the contractor what is not included. This too will force the contractor to think about items of the project that may not be included. Number three. Get it in writing for how long the job will take. Just understand that this is a reference, not an exact timeline, because no two houses or projects are the same. If you think you need a penalty clause for the job taking too long, then be prepared for paying a bonus clause if the project finishes early. Number four. Look for a contractor who's solution-minded. And what I mean by that is look for someone who identifies and solves problems instead of placing blame. Before you hire someone, ask what happens when a job goes wrong. Great contractors will have great answers. Number five. You don't necessarily want to hire the cheapest or the most expensive contractor. The cheapest contractors are more likely to cut corners, while the most expensive are not necessarily performing the best work. That's why more often than not, the best value comes from contractors who are priced in the middle of the road. If you like these tips, I've got a whole hour of home improvement advice coming your way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. What you don't know can hurt you. We're people you can trust. Oh, get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Yeah, that's right. It's the weekend. Perfect time to hire it done. Good morning, everyone. My name's Adam Helfman. I'm your host, home improvement expert, 4th generation contractor. And joining me right out of the gates this morning is a good friend of the show, Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations. Welcome back.
Good morning, Adam.
How you doing, my friend?
It's great. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. It was a little nippy this morning, wasn't it?
Not too bad.
It's all good. So what's going on with you, man?
We're just, I got to tell you, I looked at a project yesterday, and they wanted an old New York warehouse complete with brick walls and graffiti.
Really?
I told them, I says, you know what? There's nobody else for this job. I'm all over it.
I got a great graffiti artist.
Do you?
I do have a
Good.
legit guy. He's even been busted and did time for it.
You know, I always come to you when I need somebody. So
Yeah. It's called the Hire It Done Black Market Edition.
that's right.
Underground stuff.
Yeah,
We got everything. If you want to hire something done that way, we got it.
we got it. That's right.
Well, that's cool. Anyways, so it's a little chilly. People are putting their heat on for the first time. And, you know, a lot of things happen around the house when you put your heat on for the first time. You ever have a homeowner? No, Jim, you're a renovation expert. You've been around for over 30 years doing it.
Yes,
And you do full service renovations, kitchens,
Correct.
bath, room additions, whatever it takes.
that's correct.
You got homeowners that call you up and say, "Oh, I turned my heat on; it's not working right."
Yep.
You got to send them to a heating cooling company.
Yes.
You know, Hire It Done. Let me just say, we have some really good heating cooling companies. I'm happy about that because, you know, it's like if I send you any one of our companies, and let's just use one. I'll use one as an example. Air Temp Mechanical. It's like an automatic. Like I send them. Homeowners are like, yeah, Adam, they came out, they diagnosed it, bam, cleaned it up, fixed it. Now I think I'm just going to get a new furnace next month because my furnace is this old and that old. When you get homeowners that ask you like home improvement advice, do you ever just say to them, I'm gonna refer someone, but I'm not responsible, or do you ever refer them and you get a little nervous?
I don't get nervous because, first of all, I don't refer anybody that I don't know that is going to take good care of my clients because all I have is my clients.
Right.
Second of all, I know that, let's face it, in the remodeling industry, even though I do a lot of different things, there's always specialty things and certain things that could come up. And the one thing that I pride myself in is that I know what I don't know, but I know who to call. And to toot your horn a little bit, you know darn well how many times I've called you and said, hey, I've got this little special thing, because I go with people that I trust, and there's nobody I trust more than Hire It Done.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And by the way, we're talking with Jim Seghi. He's sitting in the co-host chair this morning with me. He's a veteran remodeler, home improvement expert, just like myself. And if you ever have any questions this morning while we're talking, text us 97136 to the text line, or you can always email me if you want. Adam@hireitdone.com. If we get hundreds of emails a week, and if you want to get your question on the air, you never know, we might get it. And so we're going to go to our mailbag question right now.
Let's go to the mailbag, brought to you by the UPS Store. The UPS Store. Pack, ship, print, mailboxes, and more.
Dear Adam, instead of Dear Abby. I was listening to you talk with Steve from Finished Basements Plus the other day, and you were discussing how common it is for people to start projects too late to finish on time. This begs the question, is there such a thing as starting too early? My wife and I are planning on adding Four Seasons room, but we probably won't be ready to start until spring of 2021. Not next year, but a year from next year. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting a contractor's time with a project that won't happen for over a year, but I also don't want to get caught in a situation where we waited too long and ended up with the construction going into the winter. So, Jim, I'm reading that question out loud because I want your opinion of that.
Great.
Here's a homeowner that hears our show and says, he doesn't want to do what the homeowners we warned about. Homeowner in August, September says, yeah, I got to have Thanksgiving dinner. I want to remodel my kitchen and bath or whatever. I want to finish my basement. And in August, September, it's 3 months away, but it's really unlikely it's going to get done. Am I right?
Right.
So this homeowner's like, listen, I don't want to do the job until 2021. Now I'm thinking to myself, high five to that homeowner. I want this guy coming to me, right?
That's right.
High fives. But my question is to you, Jim, because you've done this. How early is too early?
Well, I guess for me personally, I'm a planner by nature. So if we have a plan and they're going to start it in 2021, the only thing that I would let them know is that pricing could vary depending on certain things that go up. But, ultimately, we're in a relatively stable pricing environment. And, so if something goes up 2 or 3% or something like that, but there's nothing wrong with planning a year and a half ahead of time.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
To combat, I have a little questionnaire that I ask clients, and it's
right.
Simple questions at the end. before we sign, and that is one of them. I specifically say, as we're signing the contract, do you have any specific deadlines for this project to be done? Would it be a birthday, a holiday? Because I want to know now, because too many times, like you say, is you'll be you'll be halfway through your project, and then they'll say, oh, you know what? This Friday's Johnny's birthday. Can you have it done?
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. If you have a question ever, go to hireitdone.com, click on Ask Adam. A couple people texted in, how late is it to pour foundations outside of Michigan? What does it cost to add a full bathroom? When we come back, we're going to talk about egress windows, and we're going to answer those questions as well. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman, the Hire It Done Radio Network. I talk a lot on the show about saving money on your energy bills. Whether it's upgrading energy efficiency, high-efficiency furnaces, or outside-the-box solutions like solar. What a lot of homeowners don't realize is that almost any home improvement you do to make your home more efficient also potentially qualifies you for some sort of rebate or a credit. So in today's Going Green, I'm going to tell you how to get some green. It's my favorite color, green.
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
Yeah, I love this. It's a good segment. Anyways, you want to save money, this is how you're going to do it. Some of the most useful, most frequently overlooked energy rebates are offered through the utility companies. Let's start by taking a look at some of those. Now, listen, if you have a business, there's also business rebates. So don't forget about that. And, coming up next, we got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. And he's going to help us with the, implementation of the installation. And he's going to give you a deal you can't refuse. Just ask my team all about him. He knows. They all know. So, if you're thinking about getting a high-efficiency furnace, did you know Consumers Energy offers a $200 rebate when you upgrade to a 95% efficiency furnace and up to $400 on a 97% efficiency model? Think about that. So, if you're getting a new furnace today, don't let some furnace guy come in and say to you, and this is the scam that some furnace companies do. Oh, we have to condemn your furnace. It's leaking. It's leaking carbon monoxide, and we just happen to have a truck in the area that has the same furnace that's high efficiency for you. We'll do it right now. I mean, really, dude? That happened to one of my friends here at the station. I won't tell you who, and I won't tell you what company, but it was a total scam. Obviously not a Hire It Done company, but I was like, dude, you can't. That's not right. So I gave him one of my guys. My guy came out and said, look, here's the deal. Here's a 95%er. You get this much off. Here's a 97%er. But here's my point, folks. The best furnace for your house, the best air conditioner, the best energy efficient anything is only as good as the installer. I know it's cliche. The best window is the one that's installed properly. Well, it's the truth. Thank God for Glenn Hagee. He came up with that, and I love him for it. May he rest in peace. Now I use that about the best roof, the best waterproofer, the best furnace. It's the one that's installed properly. Please understand that. Okay?
Vegas, head to the D Las Vegas. It's not on the Strip, it's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. You got a question this morning? Text us 97136. We got a few in the queue right there. A big trend in remodeling always is, and it has been and it's growing, is green remodeling, basically. I want to talk about this topic because I think there's some interesting building materials being explored in the space. And I think the best way to frame the discussion is around a kitchen remodel. We've got Jim Seghi. He's a renovation expert in studio with me this morning, and Jim does a ton of kitchens. So a kitchen really encompasses every mechanical system of the home. It's like a microcosm of construction. You've got insulation, you got drywall, you got cabinets, you got electrical, plumbing, heating. You got it all, right? Paint. So the question is, how do you do a green kitchen remodel?
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
The different products that you use as far as everything that you mentioned.
Yeah.
We have some cabinets that we can't get.
Yeah, okay. So it's time to go green. My guest doesn't have earphones, so you can't hear the music playing. We started talking. I'm like, oops. Anyways, so the first product on Going Green is countertops. Countertops are available in a variety of recycled, reclaimed materials. One application I think is interesting in countertops, made out of recycled paper pressed into boards. Now, I've seen that, and I don't see it used a lot. I never saw it catch on. I've seen concrete countertops, which I think are gross. But anyways, I prefer stone. But, listen, installation purposes, it's never easy. Jim, what kind of countertops in a kitchen have you done that beyond quartz, granite, concrete? Have you ever done anything that's like green or low VOC or good for the environment or anything like that?
I would think that, I've done some wood countertops. They do make, there's some materials that they have, some of the countertop manufacturers have some specific, and I believe it's glass, it's ground glass that they consider green materials.
It's not a bad one.
No.
All right, here's another one for kitchens. Refinishing existing floors. You don't necessarily want to do this in a bathroom or kitchen, but it's worth mentioning. Refinishing your existing floors is almost always going to be the greenest choice. If you have old hardwood, obviously,
yes,
it's the best way to do. But you obviously want to look for a water-based or a low VOC because that's more green than anything else.
That's correct.
How about bamboo plywood? Have you ever heard? I've heard of bamboo floors, but how about plywood made out of bamboo? Have you ever done that?
Honestly, that's the first time I've heard of bamboo plywood. So.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. Bamboo is actually grass.
Yes.
And we know how grass grows, right? You water it and bam, 2 inches later. So, makes sense that if you can make plywood out of bamboo, which you can, they make hardwood floors out of it, so why not plywood? Makes perfect sense. I've never used it myself, but it makes cool. Now, what about kitchen cabinets?
What I've heard about bamboo is I think it regenerates once a year.
Yeah, it's grass. Bamboo is actually grass.
Right.
So think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you don't mow your lawn for a year. What happens? You got a forest.
Yeah, I just start making plywood out of my grass, right?
Right. How about kitchen cabinets? The Kitchen Cabinet Manufacturer Association created an environmental stewardship program that help identify manufacturers making cabinets that use pressed wood products with lower emissions. Listen, that's kind of cool. Everyone wants to make cabinets using inexpensive material. They want it to look good. My opinion of cabinets, Jim, and I offend a lot of the cabinet companies and I offend a lot of the cabinet people. Here's my opinion on cabinets, okay?
Yep.
I believe a kitchen cabinet should have a really nice door. Nice meaning good looking.
Correct.
I don't care what the box is made out of as long as it's durable. And here's why. Your plates, your pots, your pans, they don't care if it's book matched plywood or if it's Ipe or oak and solid, blah, 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 blah. MDF, hollow, I don't even care if it's plastic. Put them on properly. You don't see the box anyways. Why are people going machacha, loco over, I've got to have this and that cabinets? That's a bunch of BS in my opinion.
You know what? I got to tell you, I agree 100% with that because when I sell my cabinets, you can get upgraded 3/4 inch plywood and whatnot and all these other things. And I tell my clients, I say, look, the exception to that is anything that has a exposed end You want a good end on that so that the wood is going to age the same as the front. Because if you get something that's just, the vinyl wrap or something like that, but with the exception of anything that's an exposed end, the middle is structurally sound, good material. And if somebody says, well, that's particle board, it's gonna break, I say, look, the only way it's gonna break is if you put a hammer or something through it.
Right.
And
that's my opinion.
that ain't gonna happen.
So here's the thing. Find a cabinet, my friends, anybody who's looking for cabinets, kitchen, design, whatever. Just find one with a good door. And then if they install the box properly, and the boxes that are made, now I'm not talking about knockdown from China built over here. I'm talking about a box that's built in a factory where they actually have glue and screws and done properly by a robot, not by hand anymore. You're good to go.
Yeah.
That's what people need to understand. So, this is the thing. Shout out to Jeff Schloining from Everdry Waterproofing. He's in Napa right now. And yeah, Jeff, keep locked in right now because guess what? We have a basement Egress window company coming on live in a minute. If you have a text, if you have a message, a question for Jim Seghi, expert, and myself, clown, Adam Helfman, text us 97136. How late is it too late to pour footings outside in Michigan? Well, you can pour pretty much a lot. The key is the additives in the concrete. You don't want to pour under freezing weather. But if you're going to do footings, 42 inches is below the frost line anyways.
Right. You can pour year-round in most cases, but you have to be conscious of the frost laws, and you have to be conscious of, how cold it is. And we've had, in the last 20 years, we've had a few years that was so cold, the only way we would be able to even dig up
there's
the grass
extreme weather.
is
You don't
to
want
saw cut it.
Yeah, we don't want that. Look, when it's so cold and the Great Lakes freeze, I got it. But that's all right. There's another question. Good morning. I was wondering what typically costs to add a full bathroom in a basement. There's currently no bathroom at all, and it's an unfinished basement. Okay, so the extra cost in a bathroom, the average bathroom today, Jim, figure on the low end 10, 12,000, high end 30 to go crazy.
I mean, that's a good range. I mean, I've done master baths that actually are more than that, but
Right.
we're talking. It's all based on the square foot.
But 10
and
grand
size,
gets
but
you a decent bath, right?
Those are good. You can 10 grand. You can get a very basic.
Right, but here's the thing: in a basement, you got to bust up the concrete floor in the area where the drains go, right? So you've got PVC drain lines, you got to do supply lines. So that's the only extra cost you have, plus the framing of the walls. So add another $3-4 grand, and then it'll cost. That's what you got to do. Now, if you want to go to hiredone.com, get free estimates. That's up to you. You can do that too. If you have a question this morning, text us 97136. We got Tony Iopolo from Egress Window Company. He's going to be coming on next. And listen, everyone needs an egress window, right? Easy Exit Egress is the name of the company. I'm excited for that. Any questions? Text us 97136. I got Jim Seghi. Watch us on Facebook Live, too. We got a big audience this morning. Man, it's rocking and rolling. Go to 97 The Ticket or Hire It Done on Facebook. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman, the Hire It Done Radio Network. I talk a lot on the show about saving money on your energy bills. Whether it's upgrading energy efficiency, high-efficiency furnaces, or outside-the-box solutions like solar. What a lot of homeowners don't realize is that almost any home improvement you do to make your home more efficient also potentially qualifies you for some sort of rebate or a credit. So in today's Going Green, I'm going to tell you how to get some green. It's my favorite color, green.
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
Yeah, I love this. It's a good segment. Anyways, you want to save money, this is how you're going to do it. Some of the most useful, most frequently overlooked energy rebates are offered through the utility companies. Let's start by taking a look at some of those. Now, listen, if you have a business, there's also business rebates. So don't forget about that. And, coming up next, we got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. And he's going to help us with the, implementation of the installation. And he's going to give you a deal you can't refuse. Just ask my team all about him. He knows. They all know. So, if you're thinking about getting a high-efficiency furnace, did you know Consumers Energy offers a $200 rebate when you upgrade to a 95% efficiency furnace and up to $400 on a 97% efficiency model? Think about that. So, if you're getting a new furnace today, don't let some furnace guy come in and say to you, and this is the scam that some furnace companies do. Oh, we have to condemn your furnace. It's leaking. It's leaking carbon monoxide, and we just happen to have a truck in the area that has the same furnace that's high efficiency for you. We'll do it right now. I mean, really, dude? That happened to one of my friends here at the station. I won't tell you who, and I won't tell you what company, but it was a total scam. Obviously not a hired done company, but I was like, dude, you can't. That's not right. So I gave him one of my guys. My guy came out and said, look, here's the deal.
Or at work. Detroit's sports station.
97.1 The Ticket. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done radio network. Recently, there was a tragedy here in Metro Detroit with some children who actually died in a house fire. And I'm not relating our next topic to that, but it does make you think. So we're going to talk about the importance of an egress window in your house. And we have the expert in the industry in studio right now, joining Jim Seghi and I. Anthony Iopolo from Easy Exit Egress Windows. Good morning, Anthony.
Morning, Adam.
How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
You feeling better?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you put in egress windows.
Yes.
Okay, so for the audience, and for everyone listening right now, just give everyone the USA Today definition of an egress window.
So, like in the builder's code book, it's actually called emergency exit and a safety window. Okay. So it's a window that allows you to get out of the basement if there's a fire, upstairs and you're trapped in the basement, if there's a fire in the basement and that's your only viable option to get out, you can't make it to the stairs. But it's also for a fireman to come in and rescue someone in the house if that might be the only way that they can get into the house to
Jim,
rescue.
have you ever put a egress window in a project?
Yeah, we put them in all the time. Whenever you do a basement,
you need an alternative.
You need a window, and the one thing about an egress window, it can be any window. It's based on the size, so that like Anthony
9 square
said,
feet. How many? What do you need?
It's 5.7. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
5.7 square feet clear opening space. So, that's the actual part that is clear and open for the exit or
Right,
entry.
but then isn't it 21 inches wide?
Well, so
There is a width.
yeah, so the minimums are 20 and 40 inches, but if you take both those minimums, you won't get the actual
Correct.
Okay, so
square
you got-
footage. So you
go a
got
little
to
bigger.
adjust it. That's why basically now when they do a new build home, it's code to put them right in, no matter what's.
It's automatically included.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask a question, and maybe Jim Seghi or Anthony know the answer. If adding an egress window in a basement, does that allow you to include the square footage of the basement when you're selling the house, or if it's finished space?
Well, so I always refer to a real estate expert because
Me too.
because
Let the experts.
yeah, I get all kinds of different. We've done some egress for real estate people who invest in real estate, and every real estate person I've talked to has a little bit of a different answer. Now, I do know that if you put the egress window should go in a sleeping room, and if you have a bedroom down there, then you can most of the time list that as a bedroom in the
right.
basement.
So here's my answer. Yeah, yes. If it's finished space and there's an alternative exit like an egress window, you can add it, and that's the definitive answer. Anybody who has something else to say can let me know and correct me. But I'm telling you, I've done the research and I wanted to know because I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a little bit of confusion. It is. We're talking with Anthony Iopolo. Easy exit egress windows. How long does it take to put one in for in a project? Assuming we have good decent weather.
So we do them in one day. We usually show up about 8 o'clock and start. We do the whole process, excavate it, tie into the drain, cut the foundation wall, set the well, set the window, trim it out. And, it can be on a good day in the summertime, we're talking 8 to 2 or 3, sometimes it just depends. Sometimes a little sooner, sometimes a little later.
All right. Well, listen, weather makes a difference.
Yeah.
Temperature makes a difference. So, block wall, poured wall, does it matter?
No, I mean, we cut, we have the equipment to cut everything, concrete, block. There's a little different strategy involved in both. We have a wall saw that cuts concrete. Block wall, we prefer to still cut with hand saws because it can be tricky. Block, the older block can be a little crumbly, so you want to make sure that you're not mounting a wall saw to something that might give way on you. So.
Right.
All right, and it wasn't shared, and that's why I was asking. Okay, so what about people who have egress windows already and they need it repaired, or it fills up with water?
Yeah.
Do you do any of the services on that, or is it something you try to avoid?
Yeah, no, all the time. We've just in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've repaired some actual houses that were actually in the process of being built, and the wells were already caved in and the drains were all clogged. So, we'll go in and take that, dig the old well out, repair the drain, make sure the drainage proper, redo everything, and mount a new well on it. Because once those things get crushed in, they're useless. Yeah.
So you can repair those.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, I like that. I wasn't sure.
The one thing I love about egress windows, Anthony and I were talking before we went on, but sometimes placement can be tricky. But we also, when we do use placement, we try to add to the ambiance of the basement or the lower level. I always call it a lower level, not a basement. But, it really can add to the ambiance, just get rid of that basement feeling. So they do serve a safety purpose, but we also try to make sure that they're very functional and can brighten up a room and make you feel like you're just an extension of your home.
Yeah, we just the other day we did one in a house. It wasn't going to go in the bedroom, but it was going in like a great room.
Yep.
they don't even have a bedroom down there, but they wanted it to, they watch TV
Sure.
down there.
Listen, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Egress window adds value to the house no matter what. So that's why I was wondering. If anyone has a question this morning about an egress window, if it's working right, you need one or don't you need one, how long does it take, whatever, text us, 97136. We'll get to you if we can. We've got Anthony Iopolo from Easy Exit Egress Windows. Their phone number, 586-205-0351. You can always just go to hireitdone.com and we'll send it to you. Egresswindowinstallation.com is the website.
Yes.
Pretty good. Anthony, how busy are you right now? Someone calls from hearing you this morning. Can you get out there to give them a quote this week?
We'll make our best effort to get out there, but we are real busy. We're booked into December, and this ends up being a busy time of the month or a busy time of the year because everyone's done with vacations in the summertime. Now everybody's turning towards those projects. And this spring was so terrible with weather, it put us put us back with everything. But we are very busy right now.
And so do you have different size egress or is it all the same size?
So it can be different sizes. The smallest, we have a couple standard sizes for the smallest that we use. Would be like a 31 by 41 or a 28 by 46. But we can get them custom made. So, we can retrofit them into an area of a glass block type area.
So you can take an existing opening and make it bigger.
Yes.
That's important. What happens? Do they leak? I mean, how do you, when you attach it to the wall, do you put mastic? Do you put a waterproofing membrane on the outside? How do you ensure that, because you're touching a foundation that's been sitting forever, right?
Right.
On an older home.
Yeah.
It's always like, if it's don't broke, don't fix it. Be careful. You're touching something that has been settled, everything around the back of the house or the side of the house, wherever.
Yeah. So we, the main thing really is the drainage, to make sure you have that egress well draining right, because if that's draining right, there should be no reason that water would ever build up there and get into a window and get into the system where it could leak. But as far as the window goes, we use a good window that's has channeled for weeping water out of it. We do flash a certain way and take care of that, and we trim them out in aluminum, just like every other finished window in the house. Our caulk lines are nice and tight, so you pretty much will never get water in there. Maybe 25, 30 years down the line, you might have to re-caulk that window, but it doesn't. Most of them are low enough below grade that they don't see the kind of weather exposure as an above grade
the proper
window.
drainage is the main key, because if there's not going to be water, then it's not going to leak.
So it's we guarantee them.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to answer this question. If I want to move my son to the basement, does the egress window have to be in his room? There's been questions in the past where it's going to be. Well, let's get to the answer when we come back. And more. And if you have a question, text us 97136. I'm Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. These new microphones in the studio here. I'm trying to adjust them. I don't want to yell into them, but hey, you know how that goes. So, you want to save energy. We just talked about how to save energy from our Going Green segment, but the way to do it right, is to really, like I said, the best furnace, the best roof, the best waterproofing. It's all about the guy who's installing it. So in studio with me right now is a good friend of the Hire It Done Radio Show and one of the most experienced insulation contractors in Metro Detroit, bar none, legit. His name, Tom Mackey. Dana Insulation is the company. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Adam. How are you today?
I'm kicking butt, brother. How you
doing?
doing?
There you go. That's what we're supposed to do, aren't we, on Saturday morning?
Well, I think, this is how you start the weekend.
That's right.
Everyone's thinking about home improvement on the weekends.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend for me.
I bet. So now that we're past Halloween, the weather's changed. It's cold every morning. Frost had a little bit of snow. People are now putting the heat on, and they're now starting to think, okay, I better figure out a way to save energy. Is this your busy season?
It generally starts the end of August. Yes, to answer your question, it starts the end of August, and it ramps up as the weather changes, as it's getting colder and colder. Our phones are ringing nonstop. We bring on extra staff to answer phones this time of year, and we're busy.
That's, of course, the best way to do it. So let's just get right down to it. Homeowners always say to me, Adam, I got cold air around my windows. I should go buy the hair blower and that plastic wrap and, put it on, blah, 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 and it never looks the way the picture looks. How many people do you encounter call you and say, how do you even do that?
Well, that's a year-round phone call that we get. They want to talk about the leaks and/or drafts that they're feeling from their windows, door walls, doors.
Sure.
And it's a tough one because, unfortunately, when the windows or doors or door walls are installed, it's paramount that they use non-expanding foam as opposed to stuffing and randomly stuffing with fiberglass, and that's where all our leaks are coming from.
Exactly. So that's why we need to make sure that people understand how this happens. So if you're listening right now and you want some insulation tips, you have a question about insulation, what the best insulation is, different brands, different kinds, how much does it cost, text us 97136 or go to Facebook Live. You can watch us in studio. Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. The website's danafoaminsulation.com. And so my question is, Tom, you say expanding foam insulation. You see these red cans called, great, whatever it is, great escape. I don't know.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. Anyways, people say, I can go great. My name's Adam Helfman. We've got Anthony Iopolo from Easy Exit Egress Windows in studio, along with Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations. Jim, you guys were talking about crazy installations.
Yes.
So we have one here. Can you put an egress window if the basement is a block wall basement? We kind of covered it really quick, but what do you think? Easy. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
We cut, it doesn't matter, concrete or block. We've cut
How
them
about
all.
if it's 14 inches thick with boulders and tree roots?
Yeah, that Ypsilanti job was rough, but we've made it through it.
Yep. That reminds me of one of Adam's 5 tips is people that are solution-minded, and me and Anthony sitting here talking about, business when,
Right.
Yeah, we're solution-minded. Just get her done.
Homeowners. Got to watch out for the homeowners. If I want to move my son to the basement, does the egress window have to be in his room?
Technically, that's the code.
Sleeping quarters, you have to.
Yeah.
So if you have three bedrooms in the basement, all 3 need egress windows?
Now that's dependent on the municipality. Everybody's subjective. We have done three bedrooms, 3 egress windows, and it's up to the individual. I always consult what the building department's gonna allow us to do there.
What happens when the homeowner says, "I don't want you pulling a permit"?
Then I tell them that we'll have to pass on that job because we always pull permits for our jobs.
No, listen, it's the law. You can't mess around, and I understand that. So, okay, egress windows, you have a standard size that meets the minimum code, right? What are we talking price wise? I gotta think at least $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah, we're around 4 most of the time, all said and done.
Plus or minus can go up or down.
Plus or minus, sometimes a job can be around 35, but with the building permit and if they want it finished out on the inside, different things tied in, you're looking around more closer to 4.
What happens when you dig out a egress window and, you're supposed to tie in the drain tile, right?
Yes.
What happens if it's plugged or the drain tile's all rotted, and what do you do?
So if it's plugged, sometimes it can be just a simple that there's a low spot in the tile there or something, and we can run something through it, get it unplugged, make sure that water's flushing. If there's a sump pump, you can make sure the water's getting to the sump pump.
That's important.
Yeah. If it is out of our control, we would call in someone with a jetter, or we'd have to, consult with the customer, of course, what they, want to do. But we, use a plumber. We have excavated a 30-foot wall and put in a new drain tile system along that wall for a couple customers because the drain was packed full of silt sand.
Yeah. So you don't want to do it. Now, how do you prevent it from getting packed again when you put brand new drain? You put sock tile or you put a...
Yeah, so for a new drain, obviously you'd have a sock on, but we go crazy with stone in it, putting the stone in the bottom of the well when we tee it. We open that whole thing up and put nothing but pea stone.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The backfill. Use pea stone, 21 AA. What is the right proper stone to put in there? And then what if you have clay? You don't have X-ray vision, so you got all this stuff on the bottom. What do you do?
Well, generally when we excavate that drain, we dig out that whole entire area, about 4 foot by 6 foot all the way down, and expose that drain tile, and then we tee into it and run a slotted riser up, and then we will basically put stone all the way up to where it's outside and inside that well, mostly on the inside, some on the outside, and then we'll backfill with the natural material. But with all that stone, you'll have natural drainage.
Okay, well, that's what I want to make sure you do it right. That's the key.
Yeah.
No one wants to upset or alter their foundation and not do it correctly. We're talking with Anthony Iopolo, Easy Exit Egress Windows. He does egress windows. It's all he does, and he does them great. That's the best part about this. So when you're going to finish your basement, you're thinking about it, and you need a company to come out and do it right and not have to worry about it, like a set it and forget it. I mean, Anthony, the work you've done with us, the homeowners are like, yeah, it's perfect. The contractors who use you that I know, they're like, yeah, it's automatic. We don't have to worry anymore. A lot of times people will be like, oh, I got to subcontract this out, and they're worried about if there's a leak or not a leak, blah, 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 blah. With you, bam, easy exit done, easy peasy. In fact, Jim, we have Jim Seghi here. Jim, your next egress window, will you do me a favor? Will you use him?
Of course.
I'm just asking. I want to make sure. We can come back and you can report on his work.
I will. Because there's nothing better for me than to have somebody that's no muss, no fuss. And I know when I make the call, it just gets done, and it's one less thing for me to have to worry about.
No muss, no fuss. Just call Russ.
The only thing with egress windows is it is weather pending, and I do understand that, and I more than explain that to my clients. I can't do anything about Mother Nature, so
I
just have
understand
to be patient.
Hey, Anthony, what if a homeowner wants to be participating in the work? You don't.
No, I've had that. Oh, I'll do this. No, we're licensed and insured, and you're not on my payroll, so.
Here's a text.
I tell people if you want to participate, it costs you twice as much. Go for it.
If I want to do all the work, here's a text that came in. This is legit. This is a legit question, though.
Okay.
If I want to do all the work except for the block cutting, would a company like yours do that? So I would say, who would you recommend if you don't? Could you recommend someone to cut the block work?
Well, I know there are concrete cutting companies out there that do have the equipment to do that, and even some of the guys in our trade don't cut their own walls, like we do. So I believe there is a company out of Monroe.
FMG.
FMG. There's Arrow concrete cutting.
Yeah, Cougar. There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
So there's FMG. I've heard of them. So there's probably a few companies. The key is staging the cut with the actual work, because if you got a hole in your wall and they do it on a Friday late afternoon and your guys aren't coming till Monday, oy vey.
Yeah. And the other thing is then so getting rid of the concrete. You have like what we do is we cut the concrete slab out, drop it in a hole, and pull it out whole with an excavator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What if the homeowner wants to save that? Make a table out of the square.
We did have one lady that had us position it in her backyard, and they used it as a coffee table where they had their lawn chairs around it and everything. And so, if somebody really wants it, we'll leave it there for them. It's just moving it might be a problem in the future.
Well, let me just roll this out there for everyone. Anthony Iopolo, Easy Exit Egress Windows. If you're going to finish your basement, you should always have an egress window. The website is www.egresswindowinstallation.com. You can always go to hireitdone.com, and we'll send you Anthony's number in case you're driving. It takes about a day. About $4,000 is the cost. Deal direct. They pull permits. Is there an inspection on this?
Yeah, so there, it differs from municipality to municipality, but there's usually, most cases, there's a rough open hole inspection and then a final inspection.
Well, yeah. Okay, so you have to get all that, and then they green tag it. What happens if the inspector doesn't show up? You take pictures?
We do. We record. And when we do a job, we document every job, whether there's a open hole inspection or not, and we usually have that to keep for our records, the customer records. But if we have to, we'll take a video or take pictures, and usually I've make a few hundred phone calls to try to find out where everybody's at, and we do our best to get them out there. But sometimes
they get exposed foundation. You don't want to have.
Yeah,
most municipalities are great with inspections, but some.
They work with you. They do. They're good.
Yeah, they work with us, and we try our best to get everyone out there.
That makes sense. Anthony, I appreciate you coming in today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
As we wrap things up, really
it's a pleasure
nice
talking to you too, Anthony.
Anthony Iopolo.
Nice talking to you.
Easy Exit Egress Windows, 586-205-0351. They're out of Macomb. Egresswindowinstallation.com. And that brings us to the end of the hour. For more of the best home improvement advice anywhere, just go to hireitdone.com. And we're everywhere online as well. Send us a tweet. Our Twitter handle is @myhireitdone. Or subscribe to the newsletter. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm on everything. We love to hear from you. I'm Adam Helfman. And you're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. These new microphones in the studio here. I'm trying to adjust them. I don't want to yell into them. But hey, you know how that goes. So, you want to save energy. We just talked about how to save energy from our Going Green segment. But the way to do it right, is to really, like I said, the best furnace, the best roof, the best waterproofing. It's all about the guy who's installing it. So in studio with me right now is a good friend of the Hire It Done Radio Show, and one of the most experienced insulation contractors in Metro Detroit, bar none, legit. His name, Tom Mackey. Dana Insulation is the company. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Adam. How are you today?
I'm kicking butt, brother. How you doing?
There you go. That's what we're supposed to do, aren't we, on Saturday morning?
Well, I think, this is how you start the weekend.
That's right.
Everyone's thinking about home improvement on the weekends.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend for me.
I bet. So now that we're past Halloween, the weather's changed. It's cold every morning. Frost had a little bit of snow. People are now putting the heat on, and they're now starting to think, okay, I better figure out a way to save energy. Is this your busy season?
It generally starts the end of August. Yes, to answer your question, it starts the end of August, and it ramps up as the weather changes, as it's getting colder and colder. Our phones are ringing nonstop. We bring on extra staff to answer phones this time of year, and we're busy.
Well, that's, of course, the best way to do it. So let's just get right down to it. Homeowners always say to me, Adam, I got cold air around my windows. I should go buy the hair blower and that plastic wrap and, put it on, blah, 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 and it never looks the way the picture looks. How many people do you encounter call you and say, how do you do that?
Well, that's a year-round phone call that we get. They want to talk about the leaks and/or drafts that they're feeling from their windows, door walls, doors.
Sure.
And it's a tough one because, unfortunately, when the windows or doors or door walls are installed, it's paramount that they use non-expanding foam as opposed to stuffing and randomly stuffing with fiberglass, and that's where all our leaks are coming from.
Exactly. So that's why we need to make sure that people understand how this happens. So if you're listening right now and you want some insulation tips, you have a question about insulation, what the best insulation is, different brands, different kinds, how much does it cost, text us 97136 or go to Facebook Live. You can watch us in studio. Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. The website's danafoaminsulation.com. And so my question is, Tom, you say expanding foam insulation. You see these red cans called, great, whatever it is, great escape. I don't know, man.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. Anyways, people say, I can go grab that and just spray the edges. And you see, I've been in the house where it's bubbling out. You see all that?
Yeah. Well, I kind of equate it to someone who paints for the first time. There's a number of things that they don't know if they paint for the first time. They don't know yield on product. They don't know how thick or how thin to put it on.
Right.
They're not getting the maximum usage out of the can, whether it's paint or whether it's expanding foam. We use, in our applications, a non-expanding foam when we do new construction. It's a little easier to deal with. It's a better product for the...
So if it doesn't expand, is it like super... I mean, I know there's low expanding and non-expanding, but the stuff you use is specifically made for that application. Am I right?
That is correct.
Okay. So when a homeowner... Let's get down to 101 insulation, okay? Homeowner turns the heat on because they're cold. The heater, the furnace, blows hot air through the ductwork and heats the inside. Science says heat travels towards the cold.
100%.
So the cold is on the outside walls. The cold is outdoors, right? So heat's going to travel out that way. Now, when you have leaks around the windows, when you have a door, an exterior door, and you can look at the edge of the door and you can see light through it, that's where the heat is going to, right?
Oh, that's a real serious problem.
Okay, so when the heat goes out that way, the heat inside the house is traveling out that way, and that means the furnace has to keep working to maintain the temperature that you request. Is that smart?
Well, you can consider your furnace like a cash register. The more it turns on, the more cash is going out of the register.
Cha-ching.
Yeah,
right, okay.
that's exactly.
So let's use common sense. If you stop the heat from leaving the house by sealing up some of the holes and sealing up around the windows and sealing up around doors, just that areas, if you stop the heat, then the heat stays in the house longer, right?
100%.
So now then the heat stays at the temperature longer because it's not going out. And that results in your furnace working less.
And your cost
Go down.
of gas are reduced.
Right, because you're not using as much gas.
That's correct.
Now take that and go from an 80% furnace to a 95% furnace, which means it uses 95% of the gas instead of 80% of the gas in the cycle. You've now increased your savings even more. Logic?
That's exactly the way it works.
Okay. So saving money is a responsibility, and it's also good for the environment, right?
Well, I mean, as you know, the utility companies in Michigan, throughout the country, to be honest with you, are tasked with the job to have their clients save energy as best they can.
They try to.
Yeah, and they offer incentives to, in fact, have their clients do that.
How are the incentives? Still good?
The incentives are marvelous. They really are. Depending upon where you live and who services your gas account, they're better in the consumer's power market than they are, unfortunately, in the DTE. However, in northern Macomb, Semco has a marvelous program as
So
well.
let's use Metro Detroit area. Let's use Southeast Michigan. Homeowner calls you up, and let's just say they're a DTE customer or a consumer, either one, and they say, "I need to insulate my house. I need to reduce my energy costs. What is it going to take, and how much money can I save, or what kind of rebates can I get?" So let's go break it down through data insulation.
Well, the unfortunate thing, or I think the challenging thing about being an insulation contractor in 2019 is that, even though the economy is outstanding and we're getting plenty of inquiry calls, people still, the number one thing, they think the world revolves around what the final cost is. And that isn't the way they should be looking at things. What they should be looking at is A is the problem, B is the solution, C is the result of the two. And if they would begin to do it in that order instead of reverse engineering it and work from the cost back, they'd be in better shape for themselves. Now, insulation, at the end of the day, has a return on investment or an ROI. I don't know. I don't know that a kitchen does.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
But it does in the end. It doesn't ongoing.
Well, you're always saving money when you have insulation. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to try and reduce your energy costs by adding insulation or making your house more energy efficient. Doesn't have to mean insulation. It could be just caulking. It could be
caulking's huge.
Right. So, okay. And that makes sense. So if anyone has an insulation question, text us 97136 or go to Facebook Live. You can put it in the comments. We're always available. We've got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. Tom, how long have you guys been around?
We're a 42-year. We're in our 43rd year. We started in 1977.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
A big mazel tov to you. So, okay. Homeowner says, yeah, I got to save. I feel the draft. I feel this. I feel that. They call you up today, and they say, I heard you on the radio. I need to save energy. What's the first thing you ask them? What are you looking to do, or what's the conversation sound like? Before hearing this. Number one. We've been programmed to always get at least 3 bids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want to give you permission to say yes when you find the contractor you want. Remember, it might be a few weeks or more before a good contractor is available to start working, and the sooner you decide, the sooner the project starts moving forward. Number 2. Ask the contractor to write down everything that's included. This forces the contractor to think what else is part of the project and what could potentially come up. Additionally, ask the contractor what is not included. This too will force the contractor to think about items of the project that may not be included. Number 3. Get it in writing for how long the job will take. Just understand that this is a reference, not an exact timeline, because no 2 houses or projects are the same. If you think you need a penalty clause for the job taking too long, then be prepared for paying a bonus clause if the project finishes early. Number 4. Look for a contractor who's solution-minded. And what I mean by that is look for someone who identifies and solves problems instead of placing blame. Before you hire someone, ask what happens when a job goes wrong. Great contractors will have great answers. Number 5. You don't necessarily want to hire the cheapest or the most expensive contractor. The cheapest contractors are more likely to cut corners, while the most expensive are not necessarily performing the best work. That's why more often than not, the best value comes from contractors who are priced in the middle of the road. If you like these tips, I've got a whole hour of home improvement advice coming your way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. We're people you can trust. Oh, get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Good morning, it's the weekend. Perfect time to hire it done. I'm Adam Helfman. I'm your host. How much is too much to pay for a moving contractor? How much is too much to pay for any contractor? Right? Got a good show lined up right now. We got Gary Bulson on Men on the Move coming in at around 8:30. But hey, you know what? We got fall. It's cold. You woke up. It's nippy. A lot of things going on around your house. Well, maybe We should talk about projects that you're going to be doing outdoor before the end of the season. Can you do these still? Well, in studio with me right now is Jim Seghi, Seghi Renovations. Welcome back, Jim.
Good afternoon, Adam, or good morning, I guess.
Right? I'd rather say morning.
Yeah.
For me, though, listen, I'm up early. Are you an early riser?
Yes, very. That's why it's already afternoon for me.
Well, let's go over a couple of these items to do this fall, okay?
Yes, sir.
And these are items you should do all the time, but, look, we got to give you these triggers. We got to get in. By the way, if you can't do this yourself, guess what? I got a guy. Jim, I know you probably already know this, but I'm going to say it to you. Did you know from the neck down I'm worth minimum wage?
Yes. If that.
Right? From the chin up, though, 10 figures.
That's right.
Let's just keep that going. Remember that.
Let's keep that going.
And for all the yahoos out there that are trying to figure that out, that's 10 figures is 7 figures is $1 million, 8 figures is 10 million, right?
Yeah.
9 figures is 100 million, 10 figures. Let's just go to add the numbers, add the zeros, baby.
Let's just go for it, right? Go for
I'm just
broke.
made. Listen, why not reach for the stars? Just how I am. Okay, so right away I want to clean the gutters, right? Keeping your gutters clean and keeping debris away is important. Now, do you clean your gutters in the fall, Jim?
Do I? I have the gutters that don't need cleaning because I don't like to clean them.
Okay. Here's the thing. Leaves are falling. Do you clean them now and then get the leaves again in them? Or what do? Do you wait till all the leaves fall? See, that's the dilemma. I'm the kind of guy that says clean them now. Clean them now. Don't let the gutters fill up. And then get gutter protection. I think all gutters should have protection and use protection. Do you use protection, Jim?
Yes, I use protection for sure.
Exactly. Holding the show hostage is a really, really good way to call that. High fives. Here's the thing, Jim. After you clean the gutters, we should inspect your roof. Is it too late to do a roof this time of year?
No.
I didn't think so. Here's what I want to tell you. Inspecting your roof is the best time right now because you can still do roofs. Our roofers do roofs all year round. I have a few that won't do them in the wintertime. They're like, no, we're going to wait till spring. Same price. It's a better job. Now, if your roof's leaking in the wintertime, you got to get it done.
Right.
But I have both roofers that do both. And I got to be honest with you, personally, if the roof's leaking, get it done now. Now is now, not wait. Now,
Yeah,
if you can
you
afford
don't-
to wait and it's a better situation, then put it off. I don't care. Anyways, inspect your roof. What are you going to look for when you inspect a roof? Do you know anything?
You'll want to look for a lot of loose granules when you clean out your gutters. You'll look
There
for,
you go.
For curled corners.
What makes shingles curl? Do you know? It's
yeah,
like bacon. When you put bacon on the grill and it sizzles
Yeah.
and they curl.
Yeah, because you don't have enough ventilation in your attic. It curls because of excessive heat.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the heat from the attic. It's cooking from underneath.
Right. And that's one thing that I love about all the guys that you have for roofing is they always talk about ventilation and how important it is and insulation, and that's why you have the guys you have the cream of the crop because they do that. I love listening to your show when I'm not on it because of all the knowledge that I gain and agree with.
I appreciate that. So, all right. So we know that you got to inspect your roof. Now, here's the thing. If you're not sure, you don't, how do you inspect your roof? You get up there? You get on a ladder? Don't. If you're like me, stay away.
Right.
Go to your street, get your binoculars, take a close look with binoculars, or call a roofer and have an inspection. Now, but be honest. Why don't you be honest with the roofer, right? And just say, hey, Mr. Roofer, I'm inspecting the roof. I don't know if I need one or not. I don't want to waste your time because I'm not looking to buy one right now. But if there's a problem, we need to fix it. So we call them, and that's what we do. And I'm okay with that, Jim. Here's another one. Hose bibs. Oh, but I have the frost-free ones. First of all, disconnect your hose, right?
Right.
I never did that once, and the water froze. And I had the handle, the spray handle, not the open end. So the water went backwards. And bam, of course it breaks in the worst spot.
Of course.
But you should undo your hoses. You should wrap them up and put them in the garage. It's so... Home ownership is a lot of responsibility.
No kidding.
It's the biggest investment we have usually. So that's a big deal.
And
Okay.
also, even if it's, you're best off shutting off all your hose bibs inside the home, too.
We always want to do that. Here's another one. Caulk and seal the exterior. I have a friend buying a house, and he's got a couple builders that he's been looking at. And I don't understand this. They got the high definition, the high efficiency furnace being vented out the side. right? Put PVC pipes, 3-inch, 4-inch pipes. And they drill the hole for the pipes to come through. The hole's about an inch bigger than the pipes. And it's solid white right through. You can look right through. You can see right through. What do? You want to let mice and vermin and rodents in there, or do you want to spray some insulation in there, low expanding foam, and seal it up?
Right.
Oy. What are we doing, Jim? These are custom builders say they're custom. What are they, that's not custom.
No, not at all.
I don't know. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. Anyways, if you have a question this morning, text us 97136. Coming up next, I have a really good segment. It's called How Much is Too Much When Paying a Contractor? Well, that's the key. We're going to put together a payment schedule on a project. I want your opinion on this, Jim, because sometimes contractors fight with me on this. And I know that the contractor's not the bank. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you and I are going to argue a little bit.
Nice.
We're going to see what happens, a little debate, friendly debate. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman, the Hire It Done Radio Network. I talk a lot on the show about saving money on your energy bills. Whether it's upgrading energy efficiency, high-efficiency furnaces, or outside-the-box solutions like solar. What a lot of homeowners don't realize is that almost any home improvement you do to make your home more efficient also potentially qualifies you for some sort of rebate or a credit. So in today's Going Green, I'm going to tell you how to get some green. It's my favorite color, green.
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
Yeah, I love this. It's a good segment. Anyways, you want to save money, this is how you're going to do it. Some of the most useful, most frequently overlooked energy rebates are offered through the utility companies. Let's start by taking a look at some of those. Now, listen, if you have a business, there's also business rebates. So don't forget about that. And, coming up next, we got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. And he's going to help us with the, implementation of the installation. And he's going to give you a deal you can't refuse. Just ask my team all about him. He knows. They all know. So, if you're thinking about getting a high-efficiency furnace, did you know Consumers Energy offers a $200 rebate when you upgrade to a 95% efficiency furnace and up to $400 on a 97% efficiency model? Think about that. So, if you're getting a new furnace today, don't let some furnace guy come in and say to you, and this is the scam that some furnace companies do. Oh, we have to condemn your furnace. It's leaking. It's leaking carbon monoxide, and we just happen to have a truck in the area that has the same furnace that's high efficiency for you. We'll do it right now. I mean, really, dude?
Microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies, grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dynavite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic
and Cindy Lukasevic,
inviting you and your pets to Dynavite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Zoom didn't invent video conferencing. They just made it better. Ready for more? Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system to make and receive phone calls, capture call recordings, and easily escalate to video if the need arises. And it works wherever you are, in the office or on your mobile device. Zoom built this for you. Exceptional audio quality, reliable service, one easy app. Sign up for Zoom Phone online at Zoom.com and meet happy with Zoom.
Spilled your juice? Quick, the Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent than the leading Ordinary brand. It cleans up messes and spills quicker, so you can get back to the party. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Got Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations in studio. Jim, let me ask you a question. When you get a contractor or when you get a homeowner wants you to do your, let's just use a kitchen, right?
Okay.
When you ask for money, and let's not go through the details of it. Do you get a big deposit, small deposit? What satisfies you to get the job started?
Well, especially for a kitchen, we get half down because of the fact that everything that we order is custom. It's non-returnable. You know, you're ordering the cabinets and you're having to put deposits on granite and different things like that.
Half down?
Yes, sir.
Are you kidding me?
No.
All right, we're gonna back it up a little bit.
We're going to back it up a little bit.
Okay, so in all my years of doing radio and working in the home improvement, I've heard a lot of horror stories, right?
Yep.
Homeowners who pay contractors in full up front, and then something goes wrong and the contractor can't complete the work. All kinds of messes ensue. I never tell a homeowner to put half down. Ever. Now, I'm not saying you're right, and I'm not saying I'm right. But we're going to work through a solution here.
Sure.
Okay? Because I don't think that's the correct way to do it. Now, we can agree to disagree, but let's break this down and let's have a friendly debate.
Sure.
Okay. Seghi Renovations does not have the name Savings and Loan Bank or financial institution after the end of it.
That is correct.
So you're not a bank.
Nope.
And I want to make sure that everyone understands this because the contractor is not the bank. You're supposed to pay the contractor. So let's go through this right now. The homeowner and the contractor must agree to a payment schedule beforehand. And if you have to decide what that's based on your individual project, right? A roof, like Hire It Done guys, my roofers, they're like Mrs. Jones, sign the contract, pay me when the roof is on that day. We'll take the money after the roof's installed. That way you have no risk. I love that, right? But it's a one-day job. There's nothing to it, right?
Correct. And I have contracts that I'll do that for if it's just a one-day job.
Of course.
So
here's the
custom.
thing. Yeah, custom. Here's what I want to talk about. You know, furnace, you know, little things like that. We get the money on the day we start and then the money at the end of the job. But on a big job, a kitchen, average kitchen takes 12 weeks or longer, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so for 12 weeks, you got to use the homeowner's money to pay your guys, to pay for materials, to pay for things to get the job going. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So here's what I want to do. I want to take your 50% deposit.
Okay.
And I want to massage it. And I want to make it more palatable for the homeowner while still satisfying you, the design build contractor. Is that possible, Jim?
Well, the majority of the cost of a kitchen is materials, not labor. And none of the materials are returnable. So that would be a pretty hard sell. What I do.
Let's talk about it then. I'm the homeowner.
For the rest of the draws, they're called performance draws.
I got it.
Totally understandable.
Performance draws are we'll define that in a minute.
Right.
Here's what I'm going to ask you. I'm the homeowner now. Okay? Jim, we've met 3, 4, 5 times. You designed a rock solid, award-winning kitchen for me. I can see it. I love the pictures, the digital, the granite, the wood, everything we picked out. I cannot wait because it's going to be a rock star kitchen. We're so happy, Jim. We can't wait to get started. The kitchen's $100,000. You want $50,000 down.
Yes.
Jim, seems to me a little heavy. And according to my friend Adam Helfman, he says don't. Adam Helfman says don't get 50%.
Not sure we're friends right at this point, but let's go.
So here's what I'm going to say, Jim. Adam says do this. I'm going to sign the contract and I'm going to give you $10,000 now. That's a deposit. Okay? And that $10,000 is going to get you to get the permits and get the job staged.
Okay.
The next draw that Adam says is to pay you 20% on completion, which is performance draw almost, completion of demo. So now, Jim, I'm going to give you $20,000 more after you've demoed my kitchen. So let's go right to the end of demo. Now, Jim, I know you haven't agreed yet, but let me just hear me out, please.
I'm hearing.
You got $30,000 of my money, and you've demoed the kitchen. You've done the plans for the kitchen. You've applied for a permit. That's it. Now, here's my point, Jim. Within 10 days of me signing, you could probably have that kitchen demoed if you you should have that kitchen demoed, and everything should be done within a week to 10 days to that point. Does that make sense? Is that doable? Am I talking so far on the timeline? Are you okay with that?
We don't normally start the demo until all the cabinets have arrived in most cases, or we have a confirmation of delivery, due to the fact that, anything can happen. Our cabinet deliveries are relatively on schedule. But as far as what you're saying with the payment schedule, the one thing that you're not remembering is, say I sign a contract with Mrs. Homeowner and we, I have these the cabinets are non-returnable.
Okay, so
I got $50,000 worth of cabinets.
Well, is it
once I place that order,
right,
they're mine.
Okay, no, they're going to be mine because I'm going to pay for them because I'm taking the risk of doing that. So here's my point, Jim. $100,000 kitchen costs you probably in material at least $60,000, right? Because then you got labor, overhead, burden. Minimum 60% of the project is usually material.
Yes.
Is it safe to say that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And kitchen companies, cabinet companies want money. They want the cabinets paid for.
Right.
So I get it. I'm just trying to lower the risk to the homeowner. I'm trying to lower the downside. And because you're a good contractor, the good guys take the money and use it for the job. The other guys use it for other things. That's where the problem arises. So my point is, at demo now, do you have do some cabinet companies work on credit where they'll, you have a line of credit with the distributor and they bill you, but you can still order the cabinets?
Yeah, but you're still responsible for paying for them. I mean, that's the argument that we have that we're kind of skipping over. Is
we're going to get to that.
Okay.
So now I'm the homeowner, and I'm like, and I say to you, listen, all right, you need the money for the cabinets up front.
Right.
How much is that? $100,000 kitchen. How much are the cabinets? Does the homeowner know? Do you give them the price? Because there's more than just the cost of the cabinets. There's the delivery. There's the setup. There's the not even install. I'm talking about just
I'm sure
staging.
On a $100,000 kitchen, your cabinet's got to be $40,000.
Yeah, of course. If you're doing the real nice, bougie ones.
And I'm using approximate numbers. I tend to not answer questions unless I'm 100% sure. So
no,
that's my hesitation.
I don't have a problem with that. That's why I wanted to see that, because I agree with what you're saying. Maybe the homeowner needs to give a bigger deposit.
Right.
I'm okay with that. All right, we're going to take a break. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman, the Hire It Done Radio Network. I talk a lot on the show about saving money on your energy bills. Whether it's upgrading energy efficiency, high-efficiency furnaces, or outside-the-box solutions like solar. What a lot of homeowners don't realize is that almost any home improvement you do to make your home more efficient also potentially qualifies you for some sort of rebate or a credit. So in today's Going Green, I'm going to tell you how to get some green. It's my favorite color, green.
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
Yeah, I love this. It's a good segment. Anyways, you want to save money, this is how you're going to do it. Some of the most useful, most frequently overlooked energy rebates are offered through the utility company. Let's start by taking a look at some of those. Now, listen, if you have a business, there's also business rebates. So don't forget about that. And, coming up next, we got Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. And he's going to help us with the, implementation of the installation. And he's going to give you a deal you can't refuse. Just ask my team all about him. He knows. They all know. So, if you're thinking about getting a high-efficiency furnace, did you know Consumers Energy offers a $200 rebate when you upgrade to a 95% efficiency furnace and up to $400 on a 97% efficiency model? Think about that. So, if you're getting a new furnace today, don't let some furnace guy come in and say to you, and this is the scam that some furnace companies do. Oh, we have to condemn your furnace. It's leaking. It's leaking carbon monoxide, and we just happen to have a truck in the area that has the same furnace that's high efficiency for you. We'll do it right now. I mean, really, dude? That happened to one of my friends here at the station. I won't tell you who, and I won't tell you what company, but it was a total scam. Obviously not a hired done company, but I was like, dude, you can't. That's not right. So I gave him one of my guys. My guy came out and said, look, here's the deal. Here's a 95%er. You get this much off. Here's a 97%er. But here's my point, folks. The best furnace for your house, the best air conditioner, the best energy efficient anything is only as good as the installer. I know it's cliche. The best window is the one that's installed properly. Well, it's the truth. Thank God for Glenn Hagee. He came up with that, and I love him for it. May he rest in peace. Now I use that about the best roof, the best waterproofer, the best furnace. It's the one that's installed properly. Please understand that. Okay?
Thing to protect the environment. It all starts with just one thing. The bathroom is where we begin our day, and with some simple changes, we can make it healthier for both us and the environment. First, make the switch to green soaps and personal products, and also look for green cleaning products for the sink and shower. Use towels made from materials like organic cotton. And finally, make the switch to LED lights, which can last for many years and use very little power. It all starts with one thing. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
The Detroit Red Wings host the Vegas Golden Knights. Pre-game tomorrow afternoon at 4:40 on 97.1 The Ticket.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Jim Seghi, Seghi Renovations in studio. Welcome back, Jim.
Good morning, Adam.
And, of course, we have Gary Bulson from Men on the Move. Welcome to the show, Gary.
I feel welcome. Good morning, gentlemen.
MichiganMovers.com is your website.
It is.
Gary, how long have you been a moving company?
28 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Look pretty young for 20, don't I?
Well,
Nice.
that's a good thing.
It's a moving experience.
It is. As you see, I don't do much of the moving anymore, but I'm behind the scenes, and I make sure things get done right.
That's what it takes. Whack 'em and stack 'em, as I say.
Okay. That's good. That's good. How is the moving business?
Good. I mean, this time of year, obviously, is as we start to get into the cold weather, it sort of slows down for us. Kids are in the middle of the school year. People don't want to take their kids out of school at this time of year. So, it gives our guys a chance to refresh and for the springtime.
Makes sense.
When things really start to take off.
No, listen, I get it. I get it. Hey, Jim, have you ever moved?
Yes.
So has it been a stressful experience?
Yes, very stressful.
Moving is very stressful. Causes anxiety, causes all kinds of pains for people.
It's up there. I mean, it's, obviously something like a divorce or a loss of a loved one would be obviously higher than that, but moving is one of the big stressful things in life that people have to do.
Yeah, it's not. Well, so you can make a positive move, like, oh, we're moving on up,
right,
to
right.
the top.
No, and that's the way to do it when you hire a professional mover. I mean, that's what you want them to do, is you want to try to take the stress out of the move. I mean, that's one of the main things that you can do for people, is to put them at ease. So, from the time that you meet them for, doing an estimate or talking to them on the phone, from the time that the guys leave, you want to try to put them at ease as much as possible.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to put everyone at ease. So what causes stress in moving? The guy showing up, the packing. What is it? The enormity of it?
Yeah, I think everything. I mean, it's a big life decision to pick up, and even if you don't have a family and you're moving yourself, it's a big life decision on what you're doing, whether you're buying a new house or you're starting a new job. I mean, usually there's something that goes along with the move. It's not just the move itself. So you're making a lot of major changes in your life, and it's a tough time.
Well, yeah, I would think so.
You're touching their personal stuff,
right?
And that's kind of the same. And as I was sitting here thinking about it, one of the biggest things in my business is you're invading somebody's privacy when you're working in their home. And now I'm sitting here listening to you, and you get it all in one day. At least mine's spread out over a little bit, and I'm thinking, wow, people are really that's kudos to you for being able and conscious of wanting to acknowledge the comfort level of the homeowners, because that's an important element of any business.
Correct, and like I said, everybody's different. Every move is different. Just like you talked about earlier in an earlier segment, how everything is different all the time. And we had a customer yesterday that was moving from Royal Oak to Cincinnati. Now, in most cases, we would load up the truck, drive to Cincinnati, spend the night, and then unload the next day. These people were adamant that they really wanted to get everything done in one day. So my guys loaded up yesterday morning in Royal Oak, and they delivered it about 8 o'clock last night to Cincinnati and unloaded the truck, and then they got the room. So we try to accommodate the customer as much as we can within reason to make everything as easy as possible.
Well said.
And to make them in charge.
Well, and that's the best part, right? Now, how expensive can moving be? Like I don't pack. I don't want to do any of it. I don't want to even unfold I don't want to take my underwear out of the drawer. I want you guys to put it in boxes, tape it up.
That's scary, Adam. You at least do that for them.
Hold on a second. What's my favorite 3 words? You know what my three favorite words are?
I should, but
I'll tell you right now. Hire it done.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm not doing it myself. I want a full turnkey Gary Bulson special.
I mean, obviously, it depends if we're talking a 1-bedroom apartment, a 3-bedroom house. The square footage means a lot. There's people that, we do have hoarders out there that you get into that situation, and it's another whole. But, I mean, normally a move is going to packing up a whole house, if you're doing everything in the house, is going to cost just as much as the move is. So just, keep that in mind. So there's a lot of people will pack up their own belongings, or they'll at least pack up to half the packing, save the kitchen and the china and the stuff for the professionals, but they'll pack up all their personal items and stuff, and then we'll come in and, pack up the expensive stuff.
There's professional packing and professional organizing companies that do that.
Correct.
I met these girls the other day in a big house that homeowner was moving into a new one. And I'll tell you what, these girls were putting away salt and pepper shakers. Like, that's how nitty gritty got down to. Yep. They were wiping down the shelves, wiping down the cabinets before all the new stuff went in.
And some of the larger jobs, we'll send out Jim was saying earlier, you stay in your lane. We know everything there is to know about moving. There are companies out there that do exclusive packing, and, they know what they're doing, and they stay in their lane as well. So
smart. Well, they don't need to be movers. They need to be packers and unpackers.
Right.
Right? And you're the movers.
Movers and the shakers.
Men on the Move. We've got Gary Bulson, owner of Men on the Move. The website's MichiganMovers.com. You'll do from Southfield to Bloomfield, and then you go from Southfield to California.
Correct.
Bam.
And there is a quote form on the website, too. So
you can get a price right away.
Oh, yeah. If people want to go there on the quote form, we'll give them back a price within 24 hours.
Well, not even better. That's not even a bad idea. So when does it get, is there a busy season?
Oh, yeah. It's June, July, August.
Summertime, of course.
Yeah, right when kids get out of school, too, because it's that way. Again, we talked about taking stress off the homeowners. It's the same thing. It's a very stressful situation for children as well.
Oh, big time.
So, if they can save their children some stress and do it when the kids are not in school, it makes it a little bit easier transition from them. Pets are the same thing. I mean, people don't think about that. You're uplifting a pet from the place, the home that pet is known, and moving them as well. There's a lot of anxiety there with pets as well.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure of it. Gary, Jim, we got Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations. Jim, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Have you ever done a big project where you had to move the homeowner out?
No.
Really? Okay. Well, there are projects, big ones.
I've done, don't get me wrong, I've done
Yeah.
almost 3,000 square foot additions, but in general,
You've been able to
we're
work
adding
around.
on new, and we do what I call the breakthrough, which is into the old home at
Smart.
the end.
So you're planning it right.
Yes. I
Yeah,
try
that's
to.
smart. No, listen.
We do a lot. We get calls a lot of times from people that are redoing their hardwood floors or whatever, and they need to move their furniture out for a week or two while the hardware floors get done, and then they call us, and then we move it back in, once they're done. So it's a service that we offer as well. We don't have any move time minimums like a lot of the other companies do. If it takes us 15 minutes to move your items, you're charged for the 15 minutes plus the travel time to get there and to get to your home.
Listen, whatever it takes. For the most part, moves go great. Have you ever had a move where you guy took a left turn too fast and all the stuff fell over or anything like that?
Of course, we've been doing this for 28 years, so there's going to be incidents like that. And I don't care what profession in. You could be in radio, you could be in home renovations, you could be at work, a worker at McDonald's. It doesn't matter. You're going to make mistakes. It's all a matter of how you take care of those mistakes once they're made. That's what makes you a good company.
That's
Solution-minded.
100% correct.
Solution-minded.
I couldn't say it better.
No, it makes sense, man. I appreciate you telling me that. Listen, if you were to say to me, "Oh, yeah, everything's perfect. We never had a problem," I'd be like, "Oh, really, dude? Okay, yeah." My listeners, they don't. They're really buying that one. I gotta think though, these roundabouts they're putting everywhere is hellish for your business.
They're crazy. Yeah.
You guys are going around. You're trying to do straight shots to everything, right? You don't want to mess with things falling over or not. How many drop cloths do you have?
You know what? It all depends. We bring usually 3 or 4 on every truck. We also deal in carpet protector, for the carpet and the stairs. It works really good for that. A lot of times it depends on what the weather is outside. What we're going to use. If it's a nice summer day and you don't need it, and there's a clean sidewalk, you don't need to worry about tracking things in and out of people's houses. So. We try to do what we can on the most time efficiency. If we feel like we need to put down that stuff, then we'll go ahead and put it down. But it does take a little bit of time to secure it down.
No, it makes sense. So, what's the worst thing to move when you're in a moving company? Is it a big ass pool table? What is it? What's the worst thing you got to move?
Honestly, I really don't think there is a worst thing to move. The worst thing in the moving business is people just not educating themselves enough to be prepared.
Yeah.
So we try to do that on the phone when they call. We try to prepare them for the move. We've walked into homes before where there's still stuff all over the dresser, and it's like they were just living there last night and they never packed up anything. That's hard on the guys, and it's hard on us. Hard for scheduling purposes.
How about on the estimate? Oh, it's just a few boxes, and then how do you estimate properly? You have to visit the job, right? You got to be there ahead of time to see what you're moving, or no?
For the local moves, no, not normally. Like I said, people will go online and do an online quote to get an idea or an estimated price. Like you were saying earlier in an earlier segment, it's like, this is just a guideline of what it's going to cost. There's so many times where people say, I'm going to move my own boxes, or I'm going to do this, and then their friend Rick doesn't come through with the pickup truck to move the boxes, and they're there.
So they lifted all that.
It's one reason why we don't give flat fees, is just for that reason. We don't want to be negotiating with people.
I got you.
While the movers are there.
Makes sense to me. All right, we're going to take a quick break. If you have a question about moving, you got a moving story or a horror story, I want to hear it. 97136, text us. Watch us on Facebook Live. We got Gary Bulson, Men on the Move, MichiganMovers.com. We'll be right back. Are you planning on moving soon? It's easy to overpay for a professional mover. Men on the Move is a company that I trust. Men on the Move has a no move time minimum, so you're only paying for the time that the movers are actually moving your stuff. If you need a mover now, fill out the form below for the 3-man special. $50 in free boxes or $25 off the travel fee. Men on the Move is a company that I trust, and so should you. For more information, visit hireitdone.com. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. These new microphones in the studio here. I'm trying to adjust them. I don't want to yell into them, but hey, you know how that goes. So, you want to save energy. We just talked about how to save energy from our Going Green segment, but the way to do it right is to really, like I said, the best furnace, the best roof, the best waterproofing. It's all about the guy who's installing it. So in studio with me right now is a good friend of the Hire It Done radio show and one of the most experienced insulation contractors in Metro Detroit. Bar none. Legit. His name, Tom Mackey. Dana Insulation is the company. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Adam. How are you today?
I'm kicking butt, brother. How
there
you doing?
There you go. That's what we're supposed to do, aren't we, on Saturday morning?
Well, I think, this is how you start the weekend.
That's right.
Everyone's thinking about home improvement on the weekends.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend for me.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. So now that we're past Halloween, the weather's changed. It's cold every morning. Frost had a little bit of snow. People are now putting the heat on, and they're now starting to think, okay, I better figure out a way to save energy. Is this your busy season?
It generally starts the end of August. Yes, to answer your question. It starts the end of August, and it ramps up as the weather changes, as it's getting colder and colder. Our phones are ringing nonstop. We bring on extra staff to answer phones this time of year, and we're busy.
That's, of course, the best way to do it. So let's just get right down to it. Homeowners always say to me, Adam, I got cold air around my windows. I should go buy the hair blower and that plastic wrap and, put it on, blah, blah, blah. And it never looks the way the picture looks. How many people do you encounter call you and say, how do you even do that?
Well, that's a year-round phone call that we get. They want to talk about the leaks and or drafts that they're feeling from their windows, door walls, doors.
Sure.
And it's a tough one because, unfortunately, when the windows or doors or door walls are installed, it's paramount that they use non-expanding foam as opposed to stuffing and randomly stuffing with fiberglass, and that's where all our leaks are coming from.
Exactly. So that's why we need to make sure that people understand how this happens. So if you're listening right now and you want some insulation tips, you have a question about insulation, what the best insulation is, different brands, different kinds, how much does it cost, text us, 97136, or go to Facebook Live. You can watch us in studio. Tom Mackey from Dana Insulation. The website's danafoaminsulation.com. And so my question is, Tom, you say expanding foam insulation. You see these red cans called, great, whatever it is, great skate, I don't know, man.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. Anyways, people say, I can go grab. I'm your host, Adam Helfman. We've been talking with Gary Bulson, Men on the Move. Local company, rock solid 10-star company, literally.
Thank you.
And good guy. I can attest to that, right, Gary?
You can.
MichiganMovers.com is the website. So you're saying moving in the wintertime is a little slower. So you got to give a discount, right? A little bit of a deal?
Yeah, we offer a couple different things going on right now. Like we can offer you $25 off your travel time, $50 worth of free boxes, or one of the things that we started a couple winters ago was a 3-man special rate where you get the third guy for a discounted price. And not only is that beneficial to the customer, it's also beneficial to the men because, it's going in outside in the elements in the wintertime in Michigan can be very hard. And then you're coming in a house and the customer has the heat on 90. Then you're going outside and it's -5. So the third man is also going to get that job done quicker, which is going to keep the men fresh and keep them out of the elements as well. So it's a win-win for everybody.
What do you think, Jim, the third man? Are you going to be the third man?
I'm not going to be the third man. I told him I was moving, and I'm already signing up with him. I'm not doing it. Ain't happening.
What about girls to pack all the stuff? I got that company that I just met.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. Listen,
I
think you should turnkey the whole thing.
I can tell you just from meeting Gary just now, he's a stand-up guy and extremely conscientious. And I've been in the business long enough to get a good feel for somebody. And like I say, he's going to be the guy that I'm going to be calling when I move.
Thank you, Jim.
I appreciate you doing that and saying that. It means a lot. He's the only moving company that qualifies, that actually works with Hire It Done. So congratulations there. You know, we have multiple of every contractor, but you're the only one.
Thank you. It was tough. You know, it was like a 100-page essay that I had to do to be approved.
Yeah.
Hire It Done does an awesome job in their screening process, and I'm proud that I am part of it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You know, you're
because
a good
I
guy.
like using your guy. I mean, I use your guys.
Yeah, no, that's the part.
win-win
It's a
for
camaraderie. That's the thing about Hire It Done. I'm a boutique lead generation contractor referral company. What does that mean? I'll give you an example. I'm not Angie's List. I'm not Home Advisor. I'm a hybrid of both. I'm a third-party endorsement, right?
Yes.
I happen to have been that guy who grew up in the home improvement business. I'm a fourth-generation contractor. I'm a savant when it comes to home improvement. I have some unique knowledge that's just really weird, right? I've done a lot of work. So I'm here to translate all that experience into a language that a homeowner understands. So whether it's hiring a moving company to make it as stress-free and anxiety-free as possible, or picking the right kitchen contractor or design-build contractor and making sure that not only are they getting the right guy because it's a match, but the right payment schedule, right? The right solution stuff, so that at the end of the job, when there's problems, and every job has problems, it's how everyone worked out, how it all got solved, and the homeowner's like, yeah, you know what? It's exactly as Adam expected. There was going to be headaches, but they solved them.
I assure my clients I come to you with solutions, not problems.
Yeah.
Which is great because not only are you helping out the consumer and finding them a company, you're also helping out small business owners like myself that, you know, go out there and we bust our butts every day to do a good job for customers. So, you know, the consumer should not only appreciate Hire It Done, but I know small businesses like myself do as well.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate, you know, and that's again, I'm for small business. I'm for medium-sized, family-owned businesses that want to grow their business and want to continually satisfy homeowners. And I always ask the number one source of their business. I ask them, where do you get most of your business from? If they don't quickly, in a blink of an eye, say to me referrals, it's all referral. Then I'm like, ooh, because Yellow Pages or Google or Home Advisor. Really? It's your number one source? I want the number one source to be a referral. Then, as I want to grow my business, I want to be able to be the guy that refers to you on the tail end of the referral, right? So homeowners say to me, hey, Adam, I got to move into my new house or I got to move out of my house. I'm like, oh, well, good. Not only are you going to use this contractor, but you're going to use Men on the Move. Because Men on the Move is going to move you to the storage. And then when you're ready to move back, proper plan, they're going to move you out of the storage.
Right.
Simple, right?
And that's the thing about small businesses. I mean, one of our, probably our number one thing is internet where people find out about us. But our second and third is either family or friends or used us before. I mean, as far as generating, reoccurring business, when you go out there and do a good job for people, that's how your business snowballs and you get those customers back.
How long in advance should someone plan a move? I mean, if they're moving in May, do they call you in April, or do you think it's, you need time, right?
Yeah, in the off months, which would be like November to March. I mean, normally you can call in 2 or 3 days notice and we can get you moved, no problem.
In 2 to 3 days, that's it?
Yeah.
On Monday, I need a guy. Friday, you're ready.
In those months, yes. I mean, when you're talking, May through August, you're going to want to give, 2 weeks at least, 2 week minimum.
Have you ever had a homeowner? This is terrible. I'm going to say it anyways.
Nice.
Have you ever had a homeowner call you up and say, she threw me out, and then as you're coming up to move the guy out, there's like schmutz and clothes all over the front porch? Or
we've had police involved moves before. I'll put it that way.
So you had okay. So they escorted the police were there to monitor.
We've had those.
You can't take this. No, you want that.
I don't think there's a situation that you could, again, 28 years of experience over here. I don't think there's a situation you could throw at me that we haven't dealt with somewheres down the road.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever found anything crazy when I move?
Yes.
Safe for radio?
Illegal drugs?
Okay. Well, in our podcast, I found a big bag of cocaine in a project once. But, I didn't know if it was. I did just wink, wink, thinking it was. But you found drugs before?
We have.
You move it for the homeowner? What do you do?
We pointed it out to the homeowner. We did not move it.
You're like, hey, man, this is something that we can't touch. And the homeowner's like, oh, I don't know what that is. It ain't mine, but...
Oh, it ain't mine, but it's my friend. I was holding it for my friends.
Yeah, I could believe that. The guy's like, hey, this will make you move a little faster.
Right.
You ever found like a paper bag of hundreds or anything?
Yep.
Oh, you have?
Actually, underneath the dresser one time, $10,000 cash.
Now, do you have a clause in the contract that any cash found you split with the homeowner, or is it just
we get it all?
No, it's not finders keepers.
It's not, is it?
And sometimes you always wonder if somebody's just doing something like that just to test you too. So it's always good to be honest and.
Oh my God! Of course. I mean, that's the whole point. Mrs. Jones, surprise! Your move just got paid for. We found 10,000 cash under the drawer. Meanwhile, you really found 25. But you're like, here's 10. Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
Wait a minute. Oh, oops.
That must be another one of your customers. It's not me. Your clients.
We found a safe under a staircase in Detroit once in a renovation.
Nice.
Yeah, we broke through it. We were trending on Reddit, by the way, because we were posting all the daily saw cutting pictures.
Right.
There was nothing in it. Very upsetting to me, but it happens. So, Gary, MichiganMovers.com. You guys are pretty quick. Anybody in your office you want to shout out to, say hi to?
I actually have a friend of mine that's with Level 1 Bank, Kevin Brzezinski. He's listening at the bank this morning with his people. So I want to give a shout out to him and all the veterans. As a Army vet myself, I want to wish them all Happy Veterans Day coming up Monday.
Yeah, I'll shout out to all the veterans. Thank them for the service. It's really nice. Gary, you're a good guy. I appreciate it. I'm glad we're doing business.
Me too.
Men on the Move. The number 734-744-9547. You're out of Livonia. MichiganMovers.com. If anyone's thinking of moving, you know somebody.
Serving all of Southeast Michigan.
And the United States. Right?
Yeah.
You want to move to L.A., you go. Florida, you're there.
Especially
Cleveland.
this time of year. Florida, send us to Florida.
Yeah, nice.
Right? Shout out to Kevin Brzezinski, by the way. It's a good one. All right, well, listen, I appreciate you coming in, man. I want to have you again. Jim, when you move, you're going to have.
Oh, I will. Guaranteed.
And the day after we move Jim, he had nothing else to do. We'll bring him back on and we'll talk about his experience.
There you go.
For another hour, my friends. Jim Seghi Renovations, thanks for coming in. Gary Bulson, Men on the Move, rock star. That's what I got to say. We have to eat, you and I. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm very grateful for my listeners. HireItDone.com is where you go when you want to find great guys like these. My name's Adam Helfman, and I'll see you next week. Beauchamp Water